This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist CJ Cartledge.
Good morning and welcome back to the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown on this Wednesday, August 20th. I'm meteorologist CJ Cartledge, as you may know already. And for today, we're going to be talking about more what's going on here in the Arklatex as well as the tropics. That's what's on tap for what we're talking about for this episode here. We're going to be experiencing some cooler conditions, thankfully, after the two hottest days of the summer that we experienced on Sunday as well as Monday. Yesterday was just a tad bit cooler, but it definitely had the potential of becoming our hottest day of the summer. We reached 103 on Sunday. We reached 104 in Shreveport on Monday, and yesterday we only reached 102 degrees, but it was still up there in the triple digits across Shreveport and Bossier, Texarkana, and most areas north of the I-20 corridor. So the hot and humid conditions are taking a little bit of a backseat for now, but it will still be slightly humid out there as we move through today. Here's a look outside through our KSLA tower camera sponsored by Mattress Plus. We are seeing some cloud cover in, and we've seen some storms over in the western half of the Arklatex in East Texas, as well as in the Louisiana parishes here, I believe near Coshada, is what meteorologist Evan Thomason was telling me that he was tracking all morning on KSLA News 12 this morning here. And we are going to see more storms, more showers and storms have the potential of popping up around the Arklatex as we move through the daytime hours today. Here's a look at First Alert Doppler radar, and as you can see, there are still quite a few storms out there across East Texas and northern East Texas moving towards I-20 as we speak, mainly because of the cold front that actually just passed through the entire Arklatex this morning. And if you felt a gust of wind or you felt slightly cooler conditions as compared to what we have been seeing for the past couple of days, that's mainly thanks to that cold front that has just moved through the Arklatex from the north. And as you can see, storms are moving in from the north as of right now, bringing a lot of moisture along with that cold front that is currently swooping through the Arklatex. It's actually in the southern half, if not south of the Arklatex as of right now. There are a few isolated showers remaining down in the southern half of the region, south of I-20, and still some storms over in the western portion of the region in northeastern Texas. That's mainly why temperatures are only 73 degrees in Mount Pleasant as of right now, 83 near Marshall and Longview, 84 near Shreveport and Bossier, 85 for Natchitoches, 82 for Florine, 75 for Center, and 84 near Texarkana as of right now. Now, in terms of the humidity, we are feeling like the lower 90s here in some portions around the region, and mainly in the upper 80s and others who have not received any rainfall yet. Idabel sitting at a toasty 96 degrees is what it's feeling like up there. It feels like 93 up in DeQueen, 91 for Texarkana. It feels exactly like the actual temperatures near Mount Pleasant, mainly because of the rain showers there, wiping away that humidity. And 88, it feels like near Longview, 89 for Nacogdoches, and it feels like the lower 90s also for Carthage and Marshall over in East Texas as well. It feels like 90 degrees here in Shreveport and Bossier. But in terms of our next weather maker, the cold front has already passed through the Arklatex, bringing us some slightly cooler conditions for this morning and for the next couple of days ahead. But it's also expected to bring some showers and storms into the region as we move through the daytime hours and into some parts of the overnight hours as well. The storm threat is expected to go up, and it's bringing us a slight cool down. It's not much of a cool down as you may think or how I may sound or make it sound like, but it is a cool down. We have to take our wins when we can. That's why I'm so excited to tell you guys about a big change that's happening here in the Arklatex, which is this cool down. And as you can see with Future Track, we are going to be dealing with some showers and storms moving through the rest of the daytime hours here, or at least through the afternoon, as you can see here with more showers and storms becoming populated, as you can see in southeastern Texas there. But moving through the rest of the afternoon hours, we could see some showers along the I-20 corridor heading towards the late afternoon and early evening. Most of these showers and storms may dissipate almost entirely through the rest of the night, with the exception of an isolated shower or two. Heading into early Thursday morning, we could see more isolated showers begin to pop up in southeastern Texas according to this model here, and begin to spread across the southern half of the Arklatex, so areas around and south of I-20 through the daytime hours on our Thursday, as you can see here. Going back a little bit just in case you guys missed it, here's the midday hours on Thursday. And here's through the afternoon. These showers and storms may begin to become scattered across areas around I-20 and southward, and mainly in East Texas as well through the afternoon hours before dissipating entirely as we move through the evening on our Thursday. Heading into Friday, going a bit farther into future track here, we are going to be experiencing mostly dry conditions through the morning hours, but not so much rain. Maybe an isolated shower or two is possible through the afternoon and heading into our weekend here. And we're going to be seeing mostly dry conditions heading into the weekend as well. So that's definitely a good sign. We're going to be dealing with cooler conditions as well as mostly dry conditions as well. That could possibly bring or expire that burn ban that we are now under for Miller County, Marion County, and Caddo Parish here. So Shreveport and Bossier, or at least Shreveport, the Shreveport side of the Shreveport and Bossier area is under a burn ban as of right now. So no outdoor burning burning is prohibited as of right now. Don't do any outdoor burning, mainly because of the extremely dry conditions that are out right now. We haven't seen much rain here in the Arklatex through the past few days, and with the dry conditions that are out, burning or wildfires are more susceptible. They're more possible during this time here, mainly because of the extremely dry conditions. But as you can see with the future track rainfall, according to the model that I just showed here, we could see around an inch of rain through the daytime hours today. This goes until tomorrow morning, and some areas could get a little bit more rain than others, mainly because of mainly dependent on where these rain showers may end up. We're talking about more rain expected for areas in southern eastern Texas near Nacogdoches County and San Augustine County, I believe in Panola County there, as you can see by that red dot. Slightly higher rain totals over there. That's according to this model here, but we are expecting to see a bit more rainfall in East Texas as compared to areas around the Arklatex for this afternoon here and this evening. But the flooding risk for today, there's a marginal risk for flash flooding as we move through the daytime hours today. So make sure to always remember to turn around, don't drown. If you see flooded waters, you don't know how deep it is, turn around, don't drown, okay? And as we move into the next day, on Thursday, it's mostly for the extreme southern portions of the Arklatex and areas just outside of the region here to the south of us in southern Louisiana and southern eastern Texas as well. As we move into Friday, mostly dry conditions are expected, hence no chances for flash flooding. And as we move to this severe risk, we actually have a marginal risk for severe weather for this afternoon, something we have not seen in quite a while here in the Arklatex, more than likely since June here. So almost 2 months since we've seen a risk for severe weather here in the region. It includes everywhere around the I-20 corridor, pretty much all of our Louisiana parishes and areas just north of Longview and southward. So Nacogdoches County, Natchitoches Parish, and most all of our Louisiana parishes, as mentioned before, and areas around Longview and into Nacogdoches County as well. But looking at the individual risks for this severe risk that we have here, tornado risk is nothing, okay? We can pretty much rule out tornadoes here for the Arklatex region. But the damaging winds is the main thing that we want to point out for this afternoon and into this evening here with a 5% risk here. But as we move into the large hail risk, there's nothing really to expect here. So the damaging winds is the main threat associated with this system here. The legend is a little bit off there as what you saw before. So with the damaging wind threat, it's only a 5% risk for damaging winds, but that's the only thing that's been highlighted. So you can expect some damaging winds to occur if you receive one of these storms that are possible for this afternoon. But we're also under a heat advisory. We are going to be seeing some high, or not high, but we are going to be seeing some hot and humid conditions still. It will take a bit of a back seat, mainly because of the showers and storms that are possible, more than likely going to bring some relief to most of the Arklatex through the daytime hours today. Heat indexes could reach 105 degrees or higher for those that don't receive any rainfall. But as you can see, for highs today, we look to still rise into the upper 90s here for Shreveport and Bossier, lower to mid 90s for areas around the Arklatex here, 95 for Coshada and Mansfield, 91 by Homer, 93 for Ruston, 91 up by DeQueen, 92 for Mount Pleasant, and 93 over by Longview and Marshall. Looks to be at around 93 degrees as well for Nacogdoches. Feels like temperatures for today reach very close to that heat advisory criteria according to this model here, which is more than likely underestimating these temperatures here, or these feels like temperatures, that is. But our forecast highs for the next 5 days heading into this weekend actually look to increase here. But heading into Thursday, we're expecting a decrease in temperatures overall across the Arklatex, and that will be most likely in the range of the upper 80s and lower 90s across the region here, mainly because of the rain showers that are possible heading into our Thursday morning and into Thursday afternoon as well for some. As we move into Friday, rain chances almost diminish entirely, and that will allow temperatures to rise into the back into the low to mid 90s across the region, back into the mid and upper 90s for most areas around the Arklatex heading into Saturday and Sunday, with mostly dry conditions remaining. As you can see by these rain chances, 20% for Thursday, around 40 to 50% chance for rain today. So make sure to keep that umbrella handy as you're moving through the daytime hours. If you forgot your umbrella, hopefully you have a rain jacket or some sort of rain gear through today. Showers and storms will definitely be possible, but we won't see a rain chance again until we hit our Monday of the next work week here. And as you can see by the Muggy meter, we are expecting a drop in humidity heading into our Thursday and Friday, or heading into our Friday mainly. We're going to be seeing oppressive feeling humidity, which means dew points in the 70s more than likely, and dew points are expected to drop nearly into the lower 60s out there. So definitely feeling more comfortable and possibly near that comfortable range as we move towards our Saturday and Sunday. But it won't be feeling comfortable out there as temperatures still will rise into the upper 90s here in Shreveport and other areas around the Arklatex, low to mid 90s out there. But we are expecting a rise in humidity once again as we head towards the next work week, the middle part of our next work week. Here's our 7-day forecast real fast here, and coming up after the break, we'll be talking about tropics. And as you can see by our 7-day forecast, we are expecting rain chances to rise through the afternoon hours, around 40 to 50%. I may have to bump up those rain chances there, but temperatures are still expected to hit the upper 90s for today if we don't receive rain. That's denoting that if we don't receive rain, that would be our highest potential on temperatures for today. But as we move into Thursday and Friday, highest potential looks to decrease towards the low to mid 90s, and some areas even the upper 80s. And we should see mostly dry conditions heading into this weekend, especially by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with lower humidity as well. So it will definitely feel like the actual temperatures for today. Heading into Monday and Tuesday, we should see mostly dry conditions, but rain chances will still be rising very slightly, though. We could see a more substantial cool down as we head into the middle part of our next work week here, which could bring a substantial cool down for most of the country, moving into the Northeast as well as the Midwest and Upper Midwest as well. I'll be just giving you some brief details on that coming up after the break, as well as talking about the tropics coming up after this quick break. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. Here's a look at Hurricane Aaron, still a raging Category 2 storm as of right now, and it's moving extremely close to the United States Atlantic coast there, and expected to bring some dangerous surf conditions, meaning the wave heights to get up to around 10 to 15 feet for some areas along the Atlantic coast, which I will talk about in just a second here, as well as rip currents. Rip currents are very dangerous. They are the type of currents that pull you out back into the ocean. If you're along the shore, they're pretty hard to spot, actually. It's like a break in some of the waves that you see there along the coastlines if you are at the beach there, and it actually secretly pulls you back towards the ocean. It's very hard to escape from if you are in that type of situation, but rip currents are definitely possible as this hurricane rages very close to the Atlantic coast there. It's expected to make a track towards the north and west or north and east as we move through the next couple of days here, possibly increasing back towards Category 3 strength. This storm has been increasing and decreasing and increasing and decreasing ever since it formed last Monday, and it actually was as low as a Category 2 hurricane with 100-mile-per-hour sustained winds throughout its duration, or at least since it was a tropical storm. It was a Category 5 throughout once it hit this Saturday. It was a pretty rapidly intensifying storm, mainly because of its interaction with extremely warm waters in the Atlantic, and it went from a Category 1 on Friday morning to a Category 5 on Saturday morning. So in around 24 hours, it hit Category 5 status, but right now it's at a Category 2. It's expected to reach Category 3 strength by later on today with 120-mile-per-hour sustained winds, and by Thursday morning, it could come extremely close to the Atlantic coast there. If I'm zooming in a little bit, as you can see, the North Carolina coast looks to be the most susceptible for these rip currents and the high waves that are possible associated with Hurricane Aaron here. So please, 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 please stay away from those Atlantic waters, please, especially if you're along the coast all the way up here into the New England portions of the United States, up near Massachusetts, because it's supposed to come very close to those as well. You may get some cloud cover from Hurricane Aaron as well, and the waves will still be affected by this system here. And as you can see with Atlantic wave heights, I'm gonna take this a little bit back here. I'm gonna go a little bit slow with this one here. As you can see with Wednesday, we're sitting at around Wednesday afternoon so later today, this storm will be very close to the Atlantic here, and as we move towards as it moves closer and closer towards the North Carolina coast here, it's a bit outdated, but as you can see, it's expected to bring wave heights, as you can see, corresponding to that yellow color, that could reach up to 20 feet at some times here in terms of wave heights there. And even across the Maryland coast, New Jersey coast, and New York, Long Island coast, as well as the Massachusetts, Rhode Island coast there. You guys are expecting some pretty high waves up there, between 5 to 10 feet out there. So near the coastlines, not well onto shore, obviously, but this hurricane is expected to bring some significant wave heights to the Atlantic coast. So please avoid the beaches within the next few days or so, especially. I know it's summertime. I know you guys are going back to school. Last summer beach run before the school starts, but please make sure to stay away from the beaches at least through the rest of this work week here. This is by Thursday afternoon. By the time we hit Friday, as you can see by the title there, 10 to 15-foot waves possible near the North Carolina coast, especially when it reaches this point. When it reaches that point right there, when it's as close as it can be to North Carolina there, and that's when it could reach its highest potential in terms of wave heights. But at the center of it, we're talking 40 to 50-foot waves out there. So definitely not the worst case scenario. We could definitely see some storm surge if that storm had made landfall. We're so glad that it's not making landfall. But as you can see, it's going to make its way towards the northern Atlantic coast, and then make a right turn towards the northern Atlantic Ocean and slowly dissipate as it becomes a tropical storm moving into the northern Atlantic through the next couple of days afterwards, heading into this weekend, actually. So Moving on to areas of potential development there. We have two areas that we are watching as of right now. One that has a 10% chance of formation within the next 2 days and a 60% chance within the next 7 days here. This is this area of low pressure denoted by the orange X there. And it's expected to make a very similar track as compared to Hurricane Aaron did, but not so much of a very similar track. It's expected to be influenced by that Bermuda high pressure and make slow and gradual development through the next couple of days. This is at the same percentage that it had actually yesterday afternoon, so it hasn't made much development or progress associated with this system here. But with the models that what the models have been saying through the past couple of days is that it could turn into a tropical storm, but that may be its cap here associated with this system. But there's also another area of potential development that we are watching right behind it that actually has a 40% chance of development within the next 2 days and 40% within the next 7 days here. This storm right here that just came off the Atlantic coastlines. It's expected to move its way in a very similar pattern in the westward direction, influenced by high pressure, and is expected to make slow, gradual development through the next couple of days as well. Once again, 40% chance within the next 2 days, 40% within the next 7 days here. So that's what we're facing in the tropics as of right now, or that's what we're looking at in the tropics and tracking for its potential landfall and its potential to become our next named storm. But in terms of the long-range tropical development here, and move my face out the screen because I'm covering the only area that we have some potential development at, or through the next week or so. Late August to early September. This is August 27th through September 2nd. We're looking at a 20 to 40% chance of tropical development there. But as we move into the next week after, September 3rd to the 9th, we could see more areas become more conducive for tropical development out there. 20% within the next 20% to 40% chance within the time frame of September 3rd to 9th, and the same for areas in the Caribbean Sea as well as the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll be watching that extremely closely as we move through the next couple of days. But that's all I have for you on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the episode today. If you guys have any topics that you want us to discuss here on the KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown, make sure to send us an email to weatherbreakdown@ksla.com or message us on Facebook. You can message me or Evan Thomason or Matt Jones on Facebook, or you can message our KSLA First Alert Weather Team Facebook page. Make sure to continue to join us on weekdays, streaming at 10:30 a.m. Now, I'm on. This is the last episode that I'll be doing this week. I'll be back on next week to talk to you guys more about what's coming on the way for us here in the Arklatex. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I'm going to be on the newscast on KSLA News 12 at noon as well as 4 p.m. Make sure to have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you on the next episode next week.